Good morning, day 5. So at the end of day 4 yesterday, I went to a hotel. I took a room in Ramada. I had the time to write a few emails, work email, related things, reply to people, important things. And I really don't mean like socializing and social network, but something more urgent than that. So the Wi-Fi was needed, the shower was needed, and organizing my bags too. I did use a lot of the Wi-Fi. I have told to the majority of my contacts, whether are friends or even business contacts, that I wouldn't be here for some time, like that I would be off work. But yeah, the job as an artist is really not is atypical, as it continues. It might continues. Mails comes in. Clients are interested in buying the rights for the use of images. As well, they are interested in buying paintings. So in a way or another, if I don't want to lose the money, I have to take my time. And dealing with that, because money must come in, and that's a good thing. It's just that it is in contrast that you take time off to go on a holiday and cycling, trying to forget about everything, but you can't really do that. You know, the artist and whoever is a freelance is pretty familiar with this. What can we do? So here it is. Prices are given, a bank account is given, sent. It's not only that selling paintings is good, then there are the books that have to be delivered to my front door, and they did deliver 80 pieces, and I'm still waiting for the rest, for 70 books. 70 books are still missing somewhere. And but meanwhile they asked me to pay the bill. I said, well, I can't pay the bill. First deliver 150 books. So far I know that you have delivered 80. Send me the rest. So life cannot be only about cycling and not giving a fuck. I'm ready to start my day 5 till Rockwood. What I need to do, I really want to sort it out, this gas propane thingy. So to buy a canister of gas for my stove, and this town should be big enough to offer me what I am looking for. Let's see. There it is. Mission accomplished. 2 of those, so I can have a warm meal. Cannot stop here for too long, as I have to go and hit the road. The C&O Canal is over. This is the Gap. The Gap stands for Great Allegheny Passage. I hope I pronounce it right. The landscape is totally different today. We are on the outskirts of still in Cumberland, and for instance, I follow a rail, and the landscape is not flat. If C&O means no elevation along the course of the Potomac River, the Gap means rail passage, following a railway line and its tunnels. The ascent up to the Eastern Continental Divide is over 20 miles long, but it never gets particularly steep, as it's being made for trains. However, my legs are starting to hurt, and I need to listen to both of them. I'm not in shape, and that's a fact. I'm still in need of adaptation. This uphill is giving me some hard time, but it's one of the best to cross the Appalachians, therefore it's on my route. The gravel, though, makes my progression slower,
and the drizzle doesn't help.
It's still drizzling. There has been a massive change in the weather from the heat wave 2 days ago. Now it's pretty cold. Seriously? I thought that the train didn't run here in years, okay, not century, but in years.
Today's stage is only 45 miles, and while the first part is uphill, the second is downhill, so I should be able to compensate. But as I left the hotel late and Cumberland only at 12, I'm not going to be in Rockwood before 6 or 7 p.m.
Finally to the top, the summit, 2,357 it says in feet. We are entering the Gulf of Mexico watershed. The unpaved path on the Gap Trail so far seems to me better than the C&O, at least the late C&O, the one towards Cumberland. Not so bumpy here, not muddy. It's basically another type of stone and rocks, so the soil is different. Beautiful natures too, but the Gap Trail so far, it has no free campsites, no water pumps. However, there are towns, and I'm heading to Rockwood now, which should be like 8 miles, and there I'll stay in a, say, commercial camping, a camping that it charges. Of course, with that I do expect to find a warm shower and a couple of other services, but I'll tell you more about that. My day 5 is slowly coming to an end. I will remember the day 5 for the 22 miles uphill up to the divide. Now rainstorm. Oh, whoa, 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 look at that. It's a reason for loving the small town America. You can do your grocery shopping, you can take your time and not locking your bicycle. It is a risk, but it is a reasonable risk. Yeah, try to do that in major cities and you'll see.
Rockwood is a small town of less than 1,000 people, 99% of whom are white, and that is something that I have to get used to, since it does not correspond to how the movies portray America. Everyone here has a European background. Rockwood is very pretty, or maybe it's just me who loves the small towns. I have the impression that its economy revolves around the Gap Trail, and stopping here to talk to other cyclists about anything is pure pleasure.
It is impossible not to stop. Sometimes it's just too beautiful, and today is sunny, but it was forecast like cloudy, overcast, but they were wrong. Gap Trail, day 6. Nobody except me. Today I feel okay, like motivated. I was trying to leave the town earlier. I always do this mistake, but the chat, I have met other cyclists. It was simply too cool to hear their stories. So it was very interesting to share opinions, view. So it's also important to do that. It's important to look around, not only cycling. No matter if you leave late and sometime you set up the tent and it's already getting dark. I've been following this river for a while. Now I find out that its name is Castleman. Must check the map actually. I don't know where this river goes to or how long this river is. Ahead of me, a short tunnel. I made a terrible mistake and I actually had a bite of it. I shopped the wrong beef jerky. Those are for dogs. It tastes like shit, like soapy shit. I reached the town of Confluence. Confluence is a small town where two river meets. I was just inside a post office, and that's for a reason, because I'm considering to ship something over to make my bicycle lighter. Let's see what I can ship back home. She said that many do that, so why not me?
The problem is not how many kilos your bike can carry. The problem is how many kilos you wish to carry. I'm learning by experience. The bike can do it, but I don't want to do it.
Grow up, get a degree, find a job, buy a car, buy a house, and cut the grass. Gap trail is getting better and better, and as I said previously, it's really in good condition. I can't complain. Well, actually, day 6 today. I can't complain about anything. Everything is working. The weather is great. The mileage is okay, and the landscape-wise is great. Today is a great riding day.
Honestly, there is one thing that is hard for me to cope with, and it is the pace of such a journey, the lack of time. I feel always on the run. Laundry, grocery, surfing the net, or even filming take time. I went through the gorgeous Ohio Pile, and I didn't know that a few miles outside the village there is the famous Falling Water House by the architect Frank Lloyd Wright. But that would have hijacked my day, totally.
Ladies and gentlemen, day 7 may start. Okay, I'm very close to West Newton, which is only 3 miles. In this section, the gap is very good. It's good the path, and there are services along the way, both private and let's say state-owned. Yeah, the park has free camping in the area. Here you have couple of tools and a pump, restrooms over there, but more importantly, like this totem with distances, so this gives you the full picture. I came all the way from Washington DC, which is, according to this, is 296 miles from this place, and it's only 38 to Pittsburgh. Great Allegheny Passage. So anytime it's lunch break, I'm trying to combine electricity and Wi-Fi, but today I'm fine with the electricity, and this little pizza joint has no Wi-Fi, so I need to speed it up and cycle north direction Pittsburgh before I get a thunderstorm, because the forecasts aren't nice. So imagine I'm a train, and those were communities served by a train. It's day 7 for me, and it's beginning to rain. So it has been bloody hot today, humid, and now it's thunderstorm. So I have to get to Dravo's camp yard.
There has been a sudden change of the weather. If yesterday I was cycling with my merino sweater, today the heat and the humidity was intense and made me feel tired. Yesterday I was feeling energetic. Today I've been slow and not motivated. Up and down. Life, as cycling, comes with its own elevation profile. You might go up, but then you must come down. It's called a cycle, and probably for a reason. It is going to rain for the whole evening and I must stop as soon as I have the opportunity, anticipating the end of my day. There are no good campsites ahead of this point, so I must call it now a Vlady Cemetery, which is free, has water and toilets. It hurts that I only did 31 miles today. Long story short, I'm still on the gap, but it's a matter of few miles. I will not in fact ride all the way to Pittsburgh. My intention is to bypass this large city, as any city. I would have countless reasons to visit Pittsburgh, but I simply cannot afford this stop. It is going to be done in another trip.
Day 8. It doesn't rain at the moment, so it's a good moment to push. Let's see how far I'm gonna go.
I'll be leaving the gap in the rough industrial outskirts of McKeesport, which is only 10 miles ahead of Vlady Cemetery campyard. Here I'll be turning west, direction Montour Trailhead. West is the overall direction that I'll need to keep. Pittsburgh will be bypassed in comfort, without much road cycling. In total, I'll be skipping 25 miles of the Gap Trail if I would have continued to Pittsburgh. Bear in mind that the best Gap sections, those made by gravel roads through natural green tunnels and scenic riversides, are all south of McKeesport. So, for what my Trans-America Eastern Express is concerned, the Gap Trail for me ends 10 miles after Vlady. Day 8 will be continuing under the tail of the Montour Trail.